And this is Tuesday, September 8th, and this is uh, MUS 349 and GMUS 544, Intermediate Logic Pro and Graduate Music Tech Seminar, respectively. And I'm trying to show folks how to get Google Drive to work correctly in their system. So I'm going to My System Preferences and show you a thing. It's a little bit slow responding. There we go. And now I'm going to click Security and Privacy. And if you don't have full disk access highlighted, scroll down till you get to it and select full disk access. You have to have Google Drive file stream installed here or it won't work correctly. So if you're not, here's the behavior you should be seeing. When you're in a Finder window, you should see on the side here, if you scroll down far enough, Google Drive. And when you click Google Drive, you should then see My Drive, and you may also see shared drives if there have been drives shared with you. But you should for certain see My Drive when you click Google Drive in the sidebar of a Finder window. If you don't, the reason may be that you don't have Google Drive file stream authorized to have access to your disk, your internal drive. So the way you make that happen, if you don't have it, is showing like this with a check on it, is first of all, click this padlock icon down here at the bottom, and you have to put in your computer password to authorize it. And then go and find Google Drive file stream in your applications. So here's my applications. I'm going to move this over here. There we go. In fact, here, let me make that bigger so I can see more. Just a moment. Okay. Well, I'm trying to do things in a half intelligent way here. All right. So what you would need to do if you don't have Google Drive file stream showing is after you have clicked this lock and unlocked it by typing in your password, then go and find Google Drive file stream application, which should be here if you installed Google Drive file stream. It should be in your applications folder. And simply grab it and drag it into this window over here. So that would look, well, it's not dragging, there it's going. Now mine, of course, isn't doing anything because I haven't opened up the window and it's already installed anyway. But then when you close this, you may get some kind of message that says you have to quit Google. And so go ahead and say quit if that's what happens. And then return to the applications folder, Google Drive file stream, and run it again. Double click it or select it and type Command O. And then that should result in Google Drive file stream running. And then you should see that here by Google Drive, when you select Google Drive, you see My Drive. And in My Drive, you should see, among other things, the common file stream for our class and also the individual file stream for you to put your assignments in. So that's about the best I can tell you. I've now, again, told you all I know about how to get that going. If this doesn't work for you, you really do need to contact the support desk at APU at support@apu.edu and explain what you've done in detail. Don't just say, I can't make Google File Stream work, help. Tell them exactly what you've done. Tell them you downloaded, you installed, you did all, tell them all the details you did, and then ask for help if you can't make it quick. And you're welcome to ask me again, but I probably will just end up repeating what I've just done because that's about all I actually know, I think. So anyway, that's that. If you don't have that working yet, then what you'll need to do is to zip your logic files, use just the Google Drive access through the browser, which I think you all know how to do, and then get the URL link from that file and share it to me, and also put that link in the submission area of Canvas. So remember that, okay, I'm waiting for it to respond. And so in the assignment area, when you go there, you do know how to submit, right? Is there anybody who doesn't know how to actually do the submission for an assignment when there is something to submit? If you're not sure about that, then you need to be sure you go through the Canvas training up here in student orientation. There's going to be some training in here that will tell you how to submit assignments. So be sure you know how to do that and that you've been doing that. And in the meantime, do at least get things put into the Google Drive on time. And then I'll be able to see that it's there in the Google Drive, and you'll get credit for having turned it in on time, even if you haven't figured out how to submit the URL yet. And I'll figure out what I have to do on my end to make sure that you get credit and are not penalized as long as it's in the Google Drive on time. But you do need to learn to submit the right way so that I can have a more graceful experience here in seeing who's submitted their assignments. Okay, so this would be a good time for me to ask what questions you have after having done the assignment. So push your space bar if you need to and ask your questions.
The only thing that I was on oh boy, the only thing that I was a little bit unclear on and couldn't really figure out how to do was take away the rests at the very beginning.
Ah, okay. Let me show you that. You're talking about the corral, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just a second here. I'm going to go open that file quickly and show you what it looked like before that would have been done. Here we go. I'll just go to that for right now. And the file loaded in the other window, so I'm going to bring it over here. And I'm going to bring this over here. Okay, so you can see that this region actually begins on beat 3 of bar 1. Let me zoom this out a little bit more. There. You can see that this region actually begins on beat 3 of bar 1. So right after you entered the music, it probably looked like this with all the rests, right? And that's what you didn't want to be seeing. So the way to get rid of that appearance then is, well, a couple things you can do. One thing you can do is just get the scissors tool. So I'm going to get the scissors tool. There it is. And I'm going to just click here, and you can see right now that I got lucky and hit the right spot, but it's bar 1, beat 3. And if I make the cut right there with the scissors tool, then I can either delete or just mute this part. So I'm just going to press the letter M and mute it. And now the rest are gone. Or you could delete it. Either way, it won't show up. So that behavior of muting a region so that it does not appear is controlled here in the layout menu under global format. So right here is the checkbox. It says hide muted regions, and you can see it's checked. If I uncheck that right now, look and see what happens up there. Okay, so you can control whether or not muted regions will be hidden, and you can also control whether or not muted notes will be hidden, and you can even control whether or not muted tracks will be hidden from the score. So you have control, and you can use these functions to be sure you see what you want to see and not see what you don't want to see. Other questions?
Professor?
Yes.
I still couldn't adjust the choir to the middle part because I've tried the video that you show me on the YouTube. I've tried and it doesn't show up. It's still on
Okay.
top of the stuff. Yeah.
Okay, all I can do is show you that again. There's some part of those instructions that you're missing. So I'm just going to put it back the way it would have been in the first place and then just redo it.
When I adjust the stuff, like it just goes up.
I don't know what you mean by goes up.
The choir, the word, it just goes up instead of stick
By
to the
up,
middle part.
you mean
Yeah,
it's showing here? Okay.
yeah.
Okay. If you
When I change the stuff. Yeah.
yeah, if you're putting in the word choir by going to the score set, and here I'm going to create a score set from selection here. And now we have a new score set. And I'm going to the layout menu, show score sets. And I'm going to change the name of this to choir. And then if I put over here a full name of choir, then that does cause this to happen. So if you're
Yeah, I
get
did delete that full name,
Okay.
and then when it's the instrumental part, the choir, on the left side, the bar lines, it doesn't appear on my screen, my window.
Okay, so I've just deleted it now, so it's gone now. And I'm going to hit enter, and now that word is gone from here. So here's what I showed you in the YouTube video. I can just do it again. I'm just going to, with the layout tool, I'm going to click right there on that little bit of bar line between the treble clef and the bracket. I'm going to click right there. And I'm just, when I get the hand, I know I have the right location, and I'm just dragging over to make some space in the left staff margin. And now I've got the pointer tool, and I'm just selecting the letter A, text, and I'm going to just insert a piece of text here at bar 1 that says choir. And now with the layout tool again, I'm going to drag it over here. And I can put it, wherever it needs to go. So that's really all there is to it. And that same process is also illustrated in the YouTube playlist for the Logic Score window. It's a new short video I put in that's, I forgot the exact title of the video, but it says something to do about centering labels on the left edge of a grand staff. So that's how you do it if you think that's important. Now, to the larger point, I know I did it that way in the original, so I'm glad you were trying to do it. But in fact, no musician will read the music differently because the word choir is here instead of there. Yes, this may be a little bit prettier in appearance, that's fine. But at the end of the day, it doesn't actually matter in terms of the notation of the music for the performers who will be reading it. So if you want to do it, that's how to do it. But I frankly don't care that much if you do it. You can just use the normal score set label, which will always end up putting the label on the top staff of any multi-staff staff style. Okay? Other questions?
There is a part on, I think, the other assignment with the staccato. I read what you said about how to place the staccato with the layout tool in
Sure.
the common file stream, but
Yep.
I still didn't understand exactly how to make it work correctly.
Okay, I'm going to open up that file if I can find it here. My computer is running very slow right now. I have this terrible feeling that I need to restart my computer, which I really hate to do in the middle of class, but I'm getting tempted to do it because I'm spending more time waiting for my computer than anything else. Okay, and I'm going to close the Savior's Waiting for now. I don't need to save that. And okay, so I believe that some of these notes are supposed to be staccato, and if I select them and do Shift S, it adds a staccato mark. But notice that it adds the staccato mark on the note head side of the stem. But if I would like to have all the staccato marks be above the music, then what I can do instead is go over here and select the staccato mark from the articulations. I think it's that. And then use the Option key plus the pencil tool. So first of all, I'm going to remove those staccato marks. I'm just going to go up here to Functions, Note Attributes, and reset all attributes. Okay, and now with the Option key and the pencil tool, and let me explain, I'm getting the pencil tool by pressing the Command key because it's my command click tool right there. So that's giving me the pencil tool. And now I'm also going to press the Option key so that now when I enter this staccato, It is an object itself instead of an attribute of the note. And so now I can put it where I want to put it. Did you see how that worked? So I could do that, and then I could still just do Shift S for these two if I wanted to. And now the staccato marks are all above. So that's basically it. You just use the Option key with the pencil tool. You can get the pencil tool by either selecting it directly from the main tool menu right here, or you can have the pencil tool set up as your command click tool, which is what I usually do. There's a video in the YouTube playlist. I'm going to go to that real quickly. I'll just take a quick tour of what's there. Boy, it's just so slow right now. I'm going to close student orientation. Other resources. Here we go. Logic Pro score window videos. So I'm going to go to that link, and I click it here, and it opens up that playlist in another window. And so this video, direct tool access using modifier keys and the mouse, I just highly recommend that you spend some time with it, because what it shows you is shortcuts for getting different tools without having to go to the tool menu. Remember that every time you go to the tool menu, you're doing double work, because you're going once to select the tool, and then you're going again to get rid of that tool and get another tool. Whereas when you use the modifier keys for certain tools, the tools we use very often, it's just a much more immediate process. It's just faster and a smoother workflow. So I very much recommend that you go through that tutorial. And then this process that I just did about centering part labels on the left edge is in this video. And if you were struggling to insert copyright notices, this explains how to do that, and so forth. So, and by the way, here's playing and swing fields into the score, which may be of interest to you for an assignment that's due next Tuesday. Okay, other questions about today's assignments before we move on to new material?
Another question. How do you install the Bravura text into Logic?
Yeah, it's a font, right? The Bravura font, is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
Okay, so do this. Go, and I'm just going to go straight there, but you need to get to the, well, I'm going to do it as if you had Google Drive installed. So you go to the common file stream, and it's there. It's these two fonts. So get these copied to your own computer. So copy them over to your own computer somewhere. And then you just select them both and press Command O, and that opens them. And it's a little slow responding here. And you just would click here, install font, install font. Do it twice. And that will install both of those. And after that, Logic will be able to find them, provided that in the global format window, you need to select it down here. And this is not a preference, this is for each song, so you would need to select it individually for each individual Logic project. But of course, Logic won't see that font until you have installed the font and then restarted Logic. So if you install the font with Logic running, Logic doesn't know it's there. So just quit Logic and then restart Logic, and then Logic takes another snapshot of what fonts are installed, and it will make this option available to you in the global format window available on the layout menu of the score window. Other questions? Okay. All right, so this is all, getting this first assignment in has been kind of a trial run of our process. And so if you're late getting it done, be of good cheer. I'm not going to penalize anybody for being a day late on this one, because we just have some struggles with the submission process. But you do need to get your Google file stream running, and you do need to learn how to submit a URL in the assignment submission area. And for your next assignments that are coming up, here, let me open the file I want to use to teach with now. Classical guitar blank, that's the one I want. And by the way, this file is in the common file stream, and you're welcome to go and load it if you'd like to. That will might give you something to look at. But I'm going to be illustrating some environment window functions today. And everything is just moving so slowly right now that I hate to do this, but we're going to take a 5-minute break. And I'm going to restart my computer. And then we'll begin again. So you can hang there. You can just stay right where you are, and I'll be back in however long it takes me to restart my computer. I don't think you need to do anything. The Zoom will continue. Although it may be the Zoom will quit. That's possible. It could be that when I quit, the Zoom quits, in which case you'll all just need to re-log back into the Zoom like you just did. So if the Zoom goes away on you, then just quit Zoom and in 5 minutes restart it. Okay? Any questions about how that's going to go? Okay. I'll see you all in a bit. And I need to quit the Zoom. Yep, I think I do need to quit the Zoom. So just come back in 5 minutes and away we'll go.